Hi everybody, this is John Watkins. Margaret and I just got back from a 10-day trip to Alaska where we took a tour with Alaska Adventures Unlimited, which was just amazing. In the next couple of weeks, I'm going to try to post videos showing some of the highlights of our Alaska Adventures tour. But before we started the tour, we had to arrive in Anchorage and we had a day to rest up and to get acquainted with Anchorage. And this video is going to show you what we found. Hope you enjoy it. In flying in at nearly 11:30 p.m. local time, we learned that it really does not get dark in Alaska this time of year. In fact, during our entire tour, the only stars I saw were on the Alaska state flag. After resting up, we had a day to spend in Anchorage. Come join us and see what we found. We started our day in Anchorage by taking the Red Trolley Tour. We recommend the 2-hour version, which allows for more stops. It is a great way to get a good overview of Anchorage.
This building right here was our first $1 million building, our first 2-story building built in 1936. It was our city hall. It was the mayor's office, the fire department, the police department, and the jail all in one building. Guess I'll see you at City Hall for some reason. Hope it's a good one. Correct.
So here in Anchorage, we are at the place where folks fish for salmon. I don't know what the chances are, given the staggering amount of competition, but you know, maybe the point's the experience. It's pretty interesting to see, and it's a beautiful day. Well, somebody did catch one, so here's some proof. The seagulls are gathering. The second stop was at Resolution Park, where you can see Captain Cook's statue and views of the mountains across the bay. You can also see the port, where they are working round the clock. On the way to our next stop, we spotted a moose and her calf. Alice literally took a detour so we could all try to get a shot of these critters. This is Earthquake Park, where 75 homes were destroyed in the 9.2 level earthquake in 1964. And there's really not a whole lot to see here, but this is where it happened. The next stop was at a place that I believe is just called the Viewpoint, where you get nice views across the bay of the Anchorage Skyline, which is quite spectacular on a nice day like we had. The next stop was at the floatplane harbor. Alaska has more private pilots than any state in the Union. I'm not sure that this photograph does this area justice because it's just huge and you see all kinds of float planes of various vintages. And here's a nice wide-angle shot of one coming in. At the end of the tour, we said goodbye to our driver and guide, Alice, who was just fantastic. Downtown Anchorage, as you might expect, has a lot of restaurants and bars and shops and a lot of touristy stuff. Here's Margaret with a bear and then with another set of bears and what appears to be a Bigfoot. So we just got back from the trolley tour, which is really a lot of fun, and we are now in Town Square, which is a little park in the center of downtown Anchorage. It's a gathering spot from what I've been told, and it's very pretty. Not a lot going on here today, but it's really pretty. Let me show you. A lot of flowers and venues for performing, and it's quite nice. It's right here in the middle of downtown. We're downtown across from Town Center Park, and there is a really cool mural here that features, as you can see, various species of whale. Apparently some of the whale chased the salmon to this area. That's what our tour guide told us, anyway. Pretty cool. We're coming up on the Anchorage Museum, which was recommended to us by several sources, including the Visitor Center. We're in the Anchorage Museum, and this is the Discovery Center, which is, I think, science for kids would be the way to describe it. You can see they have a pretty interesting exhibit here. It covers various subjects: earthquakes, plains, mountains, volcanoes. Pretty nice. There's more of the Discovery Center. There's a turtle here. Some underwater exhibits, including a starfish, as you'll see. And here's another starfish in a, as you can see, a tank. A lot of stuff here for kids. Here's some more kids and family members learning about science. This is a pretty cool place. This is called the Heart of the North Gallery, and it has an astonishingly eclectic collection of Alaskan art, ranging from classic paintings of Denali, then known as Mount McKinley, to pink and yellow bears. It's an interesting collection. I wouldn't say it's interestingly organized, but it's, you know, very eclectic, as I said. This is in the Heart of the North or Alaska Gallery, and all these great paintings that are just squished together in a display under walls that are very dark. The lighting's not very good, and it's very hard to enjoy this art because of the way it's displayed. So, you know, I would basically say there's a lot of good art in this museum. There's a lot of not so good art in this museum, but it's not really displayed very well, the good stuff, and that's unfortunate. So what's the verdict on the Anchorage Museum? It's a mixed verdict. I really like the interactive exhibits for kids. We didn't look at the planetarium, but it might be worth checking out. The art is just so eclectically mixed. There doesn't seem to be a lot of work done on organizing the art by category or theme, and I think that could be done a lot better and a lot more to the advantage of the artist and to the viewing public. It's also just very dark in areas. There is a very interesting looking exhibit about native cultures on the third floor, but it's so dark that it's hard to read anything or even to see the artifacts very well. So maybe there's a reason this museum was not included on our tour. We'll ask around, but you know, it's not a bad museum, but it could really be a great museum if some effort were made to curate it and organize it and maybe use some lighter paint. This is the Glacier Brewhouse in Anchorage, which around 4 o'clock on a Monday is hopping place. As you can see, there's Margaret. It's having a rare beer for her. Not so rare for me. This is kind of the Anchorage vibe. A lot of things going on here. Busy city. So what are our final thoughts on spending a little time in Anchorage? It's a really beautiful city. It's very walkable, and there are just a lot of things to do. And if you have a car, which we did not have, there are a lot of places you can easily visit by day trip. Very impressed. I would suggest taking the red trolley tour if you only have a half a day or a couple of hours. It was great.